Did you know that some ordinary-looking 10 new pence coins, hiding in your change jar could be worth hundreds, even thousands of pounds? In this video, we're diving deep into the top 5 rarest and most valuable UK Elizabeth 10 new pence coins, from shocking minting errors to elusive low mintage treasures. Stay tuned, because the final coin on this list could leave you absolutely speechless. We're diving deep into the incredible history of the 1968 UK Elizabeth 10 new pence coin, exploring the most valuable errors ever discovered, and uncovering why collectors across the globe are willing to pay enormous sums of money for these seemingly ordinary coins. So stick with me until the end, because the next coin you find in your pocket change could make you richer than you ever imagined. The background. To understand the value and rarity of the 1968 10 new pence coin, we need to travel back in time. The year was 1968, just 3 years before Britain officially adopted decimalisation in 1971. Before decimalisation, Britain used the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence, a system that was centuries old and famously complicated. The introduction of the 10 new pence coin was a revolutionary move. It was struck in copper nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, weighed 11.31 grams, and measured 28.5 millimeters across. Why errors make these coins worth a fortune? Every coin collector knows that error coins are like hidden treasure. When something goes wrong during the minting process, whether it's a misstrike, wrong planchet, or double die, it instantly transforms a common coin into a priceless rarity. The 1968 10 new pence is no exception. Even though millions were minted, only a handful of error varieties have been discovered, and those are the coins that collectors fight over at auctions. The most valuable errors: off-center strikes, £3,000 to £5,000. Double-struck errors, £6,000 to £10,000. Wrong planchet errors, £20,000, £50,000. Die clash errors, £4,000 to £7,500. Record sales and auction stories. There have been cases where unusual 10p coins sold for shocking amounts. For example, a rare error 10p coin with an off-metal strike sold for over £15,000. Collectors have paid over £25,000 for proof-like decimal trial pieces. Experts believe that if a unique major error from 1968 surfaced today, it could spark a bidding war, pushing the price into the hundreds of thousands. And remember, the coin collecting market is booming, with rare British coins becoming more and more desirable, especially among international collectors. That's why we cannot rule out the possibility of a £1 million sale in the future. How to identify if you have one? So, how do you know if your 1968 10 new pence is a rare error? Here are key things to check. Look at the edges. Are they perfectly round, or is the design misaligned? Check for doubling. Do the letters or numbers appear blurred or shadowed? Weigh the coin. If it's lighter or heavier than 11.31 grams, it could be a wrong planchet error. Examine under magnification. Look for ghost images, die cracks, or clashed designs. Compare with a standard coin. Subtle differences can reveal rare minting mistakes. If you suspect you have one, get it graded by a professional service like NGC or PCGS. Authentication is key to unlocking its full market value. Yes, you heard me right. Some rare error varieties of the 1970 UK Elizabeth 10 new pence coin are so scarce that collectors are willing to pay eye-watering amounts of money just to get their hands on one. Explore the most valuable and extraordinary errors ever struck, and reveal just how much these treasures could be worth today. Stay with me until the end, because the coin you thought was just worth 10p might actually be your ticket to a life-changing fortune. The background. By 1970, Britain was on the brink of a major financial revolution. Decimalisation. The old system of pounds, shillings, and pence had served the nation for centuries, but it was complicated and outdated. The new decimal system would officially arrive on February 15, 1971, known as Decimal Day. But coins like the 10 new pence were introduced early to help the public adjust. The 1970 10 new pence coin was struck in copper nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, weighed 11.31 grams, and measured 28.5 millimeters, far larger than today's smaller 10p coins. Why errors make the 1970 10p worth a fortune? Error coins happen when something goes wrong during the minting process. Maybe the blank is wrong, maybe the dies slip, or maybe the coin is struck more than once. For common circulation coins, errors are already desirable. But for proof-only coins like the 1970 10p, errors are astonishingly rare because proof coins are supposed to be struck with extreme care, using polished dies and blanks, so when an error slips through, it isn't just rare, it's a numismatic miracle. And miracles come with huge price tags. The most valuable errors, double-struck proof errors, £10,000 to £20,000. Wrong planchet error, £40,000 to £60,000. Proof with missing detail strikes, £8,000 to £10,000. Die clash errors, £5,000 to £25,000. Auction stories and market records. The coin market has already shown how powerful these errors can be. Rare decimal proof errors have sold for tens of thousands of pounds. In 2019, a unique wrong planchet UK coin sold for nearly £50,000, and experts agree that if a major 1970 mule error or unique proof mistake were to hit the market, the bidding could spiral into hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of pounds. Collectors know that with proof-only coins, even a single known error can become world famous. How to identify a rare 1970 error? If you own a 1970 proof set, take a close look at the 10p coin. Here's what to check. Examine under magnification. Look for doubling on letters or numbers. Check the weight. Should be 11.31 g. Anything different could signal a wrong planchet. Inspect the rim and edges. Off-center designs or uneven rims could mean a misstrike. Look for unusual color or shine. Off-metal strikes will look different. Compare with another proof. Even the slightest difference could reveal an error. If you think you found something, get it graded and authenticated by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. A certificate can multiply its value overnight. In this video, we're diving deep into the history, errors, and unbelievable values of the 1975 UK Elizabeth 10 new pence coin. By the end, you'll know exactly why this coin is so special and why your old coin collection could secretly hold a life-changing fortune surrounded by mystery. With no official circulation issue, any surviving coin or error is incredibly rare. That makes this date one of the holy grails for collectors worldwide, so don't blink, don't click away, because the history of the 10 new pence coin. Britain had officially switched to decimal currency in 1971, leaving behind the centuries-old pounds, shillings, and pence system. The 10 new pence coin was one of the largest decimal coins in circulation. Introduced in 1968 ahead of Decimal Day, the coin was struck in cupro nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, weighed 11.31 grams, and measured a hefty 28.5 millimeters. It featured Queen Elizabeth II's portrait by Arnold Machin on the obverse, and Christopher Ironside's crowned lion on the reverse. Why make this coin valuable? In numismatics, errors equal opportunity. When a coin is struck with a mistake, its rarity skyrockets. Now imagine that with a coin that wasn't even meant to exist for circulation in the first place. That's why any 1975 10p, especially with an error, could be worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of pounds. Proof-only issues and trial strikes were usually produced with extreme care, making errors even rarer. If an error exists, it's not just a collector's item, it's a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. The rarest errors and valuable, wrong planchet errors, £30,000 to £50,000. Mule errors, £10,000 to £20,000. Double-struck errors, £5,000 to £25,000. Off-center strikes, £9,000 to £15,000. Auction records and market potential. While no major 1975 10p errors have surfaced at auction yet, the market for decimal rarities is on fire. Rare proof decimal errors have sold for tens of thousands in 2020. A wrong planchet UK coin sold for nearly £60,000. Experts believe that if a major 1975 error 10p surfaced today, it could spark a global bidding war, easily crossing the six-figure mark. Some numismatists even speculate that a unique 1975 mule error could break the £1 million barrier. How to identify if you have one? If you own a 1975 proof set or come across a coin dated 1975, here's what to check. Weight should be 11.31 g. Anything different could mean a wrong planchet. Design alignment. Are the images perfectly centered? If not, you may have an off-center strike. Details. Look for doubling on numbers or ghost images from die clashes. Color and shine. Off metal strikes look different from normal cupro nickel. Professional grading. Submit to NGC or PCGS for authentication. Authentication is key. A verified error will always sell for much more. We're going to uncover the history, rarity, and shocking values of the 1979 UK Elizabeth 10 new pence coin, and show you exactly why this coin could make you rich beyond imagination. And here's the exciting part: many of these coins are still hiding in old wallets, proof sets, and dusty drawers across Britain. Which means the fortune you've been waiting for could already be sitting in your home right now. The background. To understand why the 1979 10 new pence is so special, we need to go back a little. The 10 new pence coin was first introduced in 1968, ahead of Britain's big switch to decimalisation in 1971. At the time, it was designed to be equal in value to the old 2 shillings. The coin was large, struck in cupro nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, weighing 11.31 grams and measuring 28.5 millimeters. Much bigger and heavier than today's 10p. The obverse showed Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. Why ordinary coins into fortunes? Minting coins is a precise process, but mistakes do happen. These mistakes are known as mint errors, and collectors go absolutely crazy for them. Why? Because error coins are unique. While millions of normal coins exist, only a handful of error examples might slip out of the mint. And for proof sets or special strikes, errors are even scarcer. The 1979 10p is a perfect storm. It was a widely produced coin, but a few rare errors have been discovered that turn this ordinary piece of change into a jackpot. The most errors and valuable, off-center strikes. £3,000 to £5,000. Double-struck errors, £7,000 to £10,000. Wrong planchet errors, £20,000 to £40,000. Auction records and market value. While the 1979 10p hasn't hit the headlines as much as some other decimal rarities, the coin market is booming right now. Decimal error coins have sold for tens of thousands of pounds. Rare proof decimal coins have broken records at UK auctions. Experts predict that if a major 1979 mule or wrong planchet error appears, it could easily smash past the £70,000 mark, and potentially touch 7 figures. Collectors love the combination of age, history, and error rarity. And the 1979 10p has all 3. How to check if you have one? Now, let's talk about how you can check your coins. Check the edges. Is the design off-center? Look for doubling. Do the letters or numbers look shadowed or ghosted? Weigh the coin. Should be 11.31 grams. Anything lighter or heavier could signal a wrong planchet. Examine under magnification. Look for die cracks, clash marks, or ghost images. Compare with a regular 1979 10p. Even tiny differences could be worth thousands, and if you think you have something special, send it to a grading service like NGC or PCGS for authentication. A professionally graded error coin will always sell for much more. Why collectors go crazy for the 1979 error 10p coin? Historical significance. The coin comes from the era of large, pre-1992 10p coins, now withdrawn from circulation. Yes, you heard that right. Some rare 1980 UK Elizabeth 10 new pence coin have shocked collectors at auctions, with staggering prices that can rival the value of a house or even a luxury sports car. And the best part, these coins are still out there. In old change jars, proof sets, and forgotten drawers across Britain. Which means you could already own one without even knowing it. So stay tuned until the very end of this video, because we're about to uncover the history. The background. The story begins in 1980, when the Royal Mint introduced the 10 new pence coin ahead of the big decimalisation changeover in 1971. Metal cupro nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Weight 11.31 grams. Diameter 28.5 mm. Design obverse Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin, showing the Queen wearing the tiara. Reverse Christopher Ironside's crowned lion, bold and regal for over 20 years. This large-size 10p circulated in Britain until it was replaced in 1992 by the smaller version we use today. By 1980, decimalisation was well established. Why error coins can be worth millions? Minting coins is supposed to be a precise, flawless process. But no system is perfect. Sometimes blanks are misfed, dies are mismatched, or metals are wrong. These mistakes create error coins, and collectors are obsessed with them. The rarer and more dramatic the error, the higher the price. While millions of ordinary 1980 10p coins exist, only a handful of true error examples survive. And when those errors are spectacular, like a wrong planchet strike or mule, the value can skyrocket into the hundreds of thousands, or even millions. The rarest and most valuable errors: off-center strike, £5,000 to £7,000. Double struck errors, £8,000 to £10,000. Wrong planchet errors, £18,000 to £27,000. Auction records and collector buzz. The UK decimal coin market has been booming in recent years. Collectors are paying record-breaking sums for rare errors, and the 1980 10p is no exception. Unique decimal errors have fetched tens of thousands at UK auctions. Wrong planchet errors have crossed into the six-figure territory. Experts suggest that if a major 1980 mule error or dramatic wrong planchet example came to light, it could realistically fetch over £80,000. This is why collectors are always checking their coins, hoping to be the one to discover the next big rarity. How to identify a rare 1980 error coin. Weigh it. A normal 1980 10p weighs 11.31 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, it might be struck on the wrong planchet. Examine the design. Look for doubling, missing details, or parts of the design struck off-center. Check the edges. A clipped or irregular edge could signal a planchet error. Compare with a regular 1980 10p. Even tiny differences could mean thousands in value. Get it authenticated. Services like NGC or PCGS can grade and confirm your coin, massively increasing its value at auction.